ReCalibur, eco-tools in youth work for collective creativity.
Hi, and welcome to this ReCalibur video tutorial on a method called the Garden of Childhood. The Garden of Childhood is a ritual that can be used as an initiation, marking the transition into a new chapter of one's life. This can be a profound way to face one's fears in a safe setting and step into maturity. It's a moderately advanced method that requires strong facilitation and proper safety precautions. With these elements in place, the Garden of Childhood can be a very effective way to enter deep reflection and strengthen the participants' relationship to themselves and to nature as a source of healing and support. This method can be used in a group of any size and requires a minimum of 2 facilitators. It can last from 1 to 3 hours for running the activity itself and around 30 minutes for the debriefing that should take place on the next day. Regarding materials, participants will need to bring a childhood token from home, such as a drawing or a photo, an action figure, a teddy bear, or something similar, as well as a journal, or you as a facilitator can provide them with pen and paper. Ideally, you will need a lantern for each participant. Otherwise, a flashlight can also do. Participants should bring their phones with them in case of an emergency, yet they should keep them turned off. You will also need a gong or a similar tool to call back the group, and face paint or sage for smudging the individuals to mark the initiation into the new chapter of their life when they return. Make sure to get to know the local environment well, to ensure the safety precautions are in order before engaging in this method. The Garden of Childhood works best in a natural setting, such as a forest, with a fireplace to begin the journey, and it should be done in the evening or the night, so their surroundings will be dark and intimate. Begin the activity by bringing the participants to the fireplace, with warm clothes and with their tokens, and ask them to journal individually in silence for about 10 minutes, reflecting on which part or trait of themselves they would like to let go of and what they would like to welcome instead. This could, for example, be to let go of the doubt that they're feeling at times and to welcome more trust into their lives. Keep the atmosphere quiet and solemn and remind the participants that they only have to go as deep as they feel comfortable within their own process. Also remind the participants that they're responsible for their own process, and while this ritual is an opportunity to step out of their comfort zone, they should never compromise their own safety. Encourage them to trust themselves, yet also emphasize that the process is voluntary and individual. When the reflection and journaling time is up, brief the participants on their coming individual 30 to 60 minute journey. A suggestion for a briefing is as follows. The participants will go individually with their lanterns into the wilderness until they find a place they feel called to and sit there alone with their token, feeling into the part of them they would like to go, having a conversation with it, perhaps thanking it, reflecting on it and how it served them in their life until this point. Then blowing out the lantern to symbolize the transition towards the new part they're welcoming into their life. They will then sit for a moment in silence, feeling their power, asking themselves where they would like to take their life now that they have let go of a part of the past. If the token they have brought is compostable, they can leave it in nature, otherwise they should bring it back to camp. If needed and some participants feel particularly challenged, they could also go together as a pair, though all interactions between participants should be kept at a minimum. When the time you have set for the individual journey into the wilderness is up, call back the participants with the gong. As they return to camp, keep the silent and individual atmosphere and ideally welcome the participants with a gesture to mark the beginning of the new chapter of their life, such as smudging them with sage or giving them each a colored mark with face paint, while also making it clear that it is not a religious ceremony and just marking the chapter that is beginning in their life. To debrief the participants, first encourage the group to stay in their individual process in silence. You may provide them with tea and snacks to soothe them after this arduous journey. They can do some individual journaling and then they should just go to bed on their own, allowing the experience to land and integrate inside them before being shared with the rest of the group. The following morning, create space for sharing the individual insights in a bigger group for 15 to 30 minutes. Could be in smaller groups or in one big circle or even in both. Depending on the group size and the time you've set for the activity, sharing can be kept from a single word per participant up to several minutes, and while sharing is of course encouraged, it should be optional. Personally, I find the Garden of Childhood is a ritual that potentially can create a lot of transformation for the participants and lasting positive impact as well. It is very important to scout the area beforehand for safety precautions for this method. The method should be facilitated by a minimum of 2 facilitators, and if the group is bigger, then you should be 3 or 4. There should always be one facilitator that has some sort of experience in facilitating these deeper processes in psychology or similar, to hold the space for anything that might come up for these deep processes for the participants. Also, do make sure to get to know your participants for 1 or 2 days before doing this method and screen their individual capacity before sending them alone into the wilderness.
ReCalibur, Eco-Tools and Youth Work for Collective Creativity, is co-founded by the Erasmus Plus program of the European Commission through the Slovak national agency NIVM.